The only one that's
that one right there. What's up, everybody? Welcome in to today's show. We have the very latest on the unfortunate situation of DeMarvion Overshown. We got everybody talking about Mike McCarthy's job and an unfortunate Cowboys loss last night, all on today's DLLS Cowboys Podcast, which starts... Meow. We only got one camera today. I thought Jesse might go with me on the meow, but he didn't. We weren't on the same page.
No,
we weren't on the same page.
I didn't take the AO route. I didn't want to make a play.
No, he didn't want to make a play.
Peter. I stayed away from the Peter.
You can't say that. I mean,
poison.
Yep.
Hate it here, Jeremy.
Yeah, watching Jeff and BB go round and round. Yeah. This morning I already did a show on my channel with Brian Broaddus, and he must have dressed me down and cussed me out. A lot like Aisha and Vach did last night on the post game. People don't need you standing up for McCarthy out in these streets.
If everybody is doing it to you, like cussing you out, that must mean you're in the wrong. Like you can stand there with the sword, like was that Game of Thrones?
Oh yeah, Jon Snow.
Yeah, and all the horses are coming at him. He's like this, and that's fine. Yeah. That's absolutely fine for you to do that because that's fine.
And I think it's going to go just like that. Like that's fine. I'm going to stand here by myself, but by the time the horde is about to run me over, backup will show up.
Okay.
And we'll have a clash.
No one has showed up for you yet.
I'm in a bad place. I'm in a bad place. You can't be defending Mike McCarthy.
We'll talk about
people
that.
Ain't trying to have that crap.
There's a couple folks that's backing you up.
That's true.
A couple folks.
I'm in good company.
Yeah,
you are.
A couple folks. A couple all-pros.
But they're backing him up stronger than I am. I just kind of, sort of.
They're backing up because there's nobody else.
We'll talk about it later.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it.
We got major news.
Major issues. Next to me, don't stick up for McCarthy on this show. You sound suspect. See, you can't. People aren't having it. People ain't having it.
Sus, not suspect. Come on.
All right, guys.
Come on, Dustin.
Fire McCarthy. He's an idiot. Stupid head. Can't coach. Anybody else, please. There. Okay, we good?
Cat, can you clip that?
Next to me is former Cowboys wide receiver Jesse Holley.
Oh, Jesse Holley went 77 yards. It must be a reality show.
I also went 82 yards for a touchdown back in the day. If AO wants to pull up that clip of me in Minnesota.
Yeah.
AO, I can show you how to do this. You don't have to go to Leon Lett route, AO. I can show you how to do this. 82 yards in Minnesota in the preseason is about a long time ago. I don't know, more than 10 years ago. But be careful following the masses because sometimes the M is silent.
Yeah.
That's one of your best ones.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
That's like standing up for McCarthy.
Yeah.
Standing up for McCarthy.
Wow. I was going to say you criticize him for doing that, and then
I own a full two-handed sword. I could go out to the star. It might get weird, but just like stand outside his office.
You just ask people. Thousands of you come at me.
Everybody back up now.
Listen,
Jeff killed a guy.
It's just
it's a quote.
It's just Anchorman.
Clip that. It's an Anchorman quote.
It's an Anchorman.
Thank you, Jeff. It's an Anchorman quote.
It was a trident.
It was a trident, yeah.
Next to Jesse is the greatest beat writer in the history of the Cowboys, Clarence Hill.
You want to win, put pop. Bad weekend for me and my Longhorns. Bad weekend for me and my Longhorns. Not only did Jonathan Brooks suffer another ACL injury in Carolina, obviously DeMarvion Overshown, major injury and possibly out to 2026. Texas lost in Atlanta, and I was there. My interesting weekend started like this. I'm in Atlanta. We lose the game. Somebody, we're at a bar, and somebody tells me, you don't look 59. You look like you're in your 40s.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, that's great.
Now, let me finish.
This is a weird flex.
Let me finish.
This is going.
Let me finish. You look like you're 40s. I'm feeling good, right?
I can feel it.
You look like you're 45. Yesterday, before the game, guy from we're talking sports and football in the press box. Guy from Cincinnati asked me, "Were you in school with Earl Campbell?"
Oh yeah.
Like what?
It's you know,
What?
that's
Earl Campbell finished in 77.
yeah.
I heard that and started
I was
dying.
in grade school. What are you talking about?
Okay, so you're close.
Me and Newey started dying when we hear that.
Who said you were 49?
Worry about all
Who
of that.
said you
He
were
was somebody
49?
who liked me.
No.
Okay.
All right, they were trying to get in your pockets. I hope you.
Who's grandma? Who's
sir,
grandma?
I hope
sir,
you didn't pay for it.
Sir.
Oh.
Sir. People think I'm young. Okay, I don't know what's wrong with you.
No one thinks.
Next to Clarence is a young beat writer of the Dallas Cowboys, the great Joe Hoyt.
Tell him something, Joe.
Ducks got the #1 seed, undefeated season, Big Ten champs in the first year, so that's good.
Yo,
Line them
man.
up and we'll take them down.
Dylan Gabriel has any chance?
Oh
in
no,
the Heisman race?
What?
No, he's a finalist.
What?
I just wanted to see what he was going to say.
Only
No,
one
no.
person has a chance, and that sucks for Ashton Genty.
Yeah, it's Travis Hunter.
That sucks for Ashton Genty.
Who are the finalists?
So it's Travis Hunter, Ashton Genty, Dylan Gabriel, and Cam Ward.
Cam Ward did make the
Cam
They
Ward
invited
didn't
two
make it.
people just for fun. Genty will at least get some votes.
Yeah.
And they'll all get to watch Travis Hunter have a party. And that'll be fun. Shout out to Captain Thunder. Hadn't seen you in a while. We need some good Dak hating around here. I wish greedy, fragile Dak had Overshown's heart. Just catch some strays. Dak's just out here trying to have a second kid, and Captain Thunder's firing at him.
Wait, what does that have to do with Overshown's heart? Like, what is? I don't know. I don't get it.
So Captain Thunder
Is
is
a
a
Dak
guy
hater?
that just comes in and pays $2 a pop.
But the
to talk bad about
correlation
Dak.
doesn't even make
No,
sense.
it doesn't
No,
make sense.
and the funny
Because
thing
Overshown's
is,
hurt.
It does if Dak's
last
always
night
in your head.
on Twitter, there were people who questioned, yeah, he's a good player, but he always gets hurt. So he's calling Dak fragile, and there are people who were, people feeling sorry for Overshown. There are people who are saying, well, he always gets hurt. He always gets hurt.
This guy says fragile Dak.
I know.
It doesn't make sense.
He wished he had Overshown's heart.
Right.
That's the part I don't.
Dak has great heart.
Hey,
but
spend
anyway.
$2 more and tell us what you really meant.
Yeah, explain that with a couple of bucks.
Actually, double it.
Jump up in the super chat. Everybody hit the like and subscribe button. You guys enjoy that yesterday? You have a good time? Nice close game down to the wire. Got the result we needed.
For all the people who were crying about how bad the matchup was going to be,
Yeah.
throw out the records. It was an entertaining game.
I was entertained.
It was not
Until
a poorly
things-
played game by two bad teams. It was an entertaining game for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, it was a something game between two bad teams, but I get what you're saying. Like, it wasn't like they were all just falling all over each other. And
Some bad teams, if they don't score points, it just looks like Keystone. I mean, it wasn't just they couldn't move the ball. I mean, it was an entertaining game.
yeah, it's a close game, competitive.
I really enjoyed Micah Parsons just chasing Joe Burrow down like kind of like a Tom and Jerry thing and just never getting him.
Did he ever? He never got a sack, did he?
No
No.
sacks. Second game in his career, he's had 9 pressures and no sacks.
I was wrong on my
And
sleeper.
it's,
Yeah. Less than,
and it seemed like
Less
he
than-
had
less than
20
half a sack.
pressures. I mean,
Yeah.
he was chasing that dude all over the field.
yeah, he was. Micah Parsons freaking insane.
He's
Like,
really good.
Micah Parsons is a big part of the reason that like the Cowboys are bad today,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not bad. As long as they try in the offseason, they're going to be competitive again.
But let's not ignore the elephant in the room.
What's that?
Yeah.
The Cowboys had the damn game won. They had the game. They were right there. They did everything they were supposed to do coming into the game what people thought they couldn't do. Hold this Bengals offense down. Hold them to 20 points deep in the fourth quarter. This explosive Bengals offense that had been scoring 30 on everybody to get a block punt to seemingly set themselves up for a game-winning drive, field goal, whatever else. You got the best kicker in
Well,
the
if you
league.
needed to drive, it wasn't going to happen.
Wait,
But if you could kick it from there.
They were already
Right,
field goal range.
but that way field goal. I mean, it was set up.
Yeah. You
It
were going
was
to kick it.
set up.
Yeah, you'd have probably got it at, he touched it at the
But-
42. You'd have probably got it like the 46, 47 because it was rolling a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have kicked from there.
But,
With Aubrey.
but in
Yeah.
a season that's been off kilter since Jerry said all
Finally
in.
caught a break.
Finally. In a season that's been off kilter since Jerry said he all in and never went all in, you can't assume nothing that's going to go right for the Cowboys.
It was on brand. It was on brand to what this team has been this season. You want to talk about bad football teams. When you look across the league, good football teams find ways to win. Look at Detroit. Look at Kansas City. Look at Philadelphia. They find ways to when things aren't going right, when when the day is not in your favor, the good team find ways to pull it out at the end. Bad teams, they find different ways to lose. Look at the Bengals. Look at the Cowboys. Look at the Panthers. Right? Like there are glaring examples all throughout the league that you see on what good teams look like and what bad teams look like. There is a reason the Cowboys are where they are right now this year. Yes, some of that has to do with injury, but you talk about attention to details. You talk about doing the little things. You talk about all that stuff that goes into your team being successful in the tight games, in those one-score games, in those one-possession games. And here you have it. Here you have it where Nick Vigil makes a great play. For those people who are asking, it wasn't a called block. He just whooped the guard, right? He whooped the guard.
Guard whiffed.
He gets into the punter's backfield, gets a block. And now everyone knows, including AO. He knows. He knows.
This punt has been blocked.
You hear the double thud.
And he doesn't have to know that it's blocked. It's a punt that is rolling towards him. It's past the line of scrimmage.
Right. Get away from it. You're not the punt returner. Get away from it. Right. Like, but you can, when you're on the field, you hear the double thud. You hear it. I don't care how loud the crowd is. You hear that pop pop every single time.
Pop pop.
Pop pop. Yeah, you hear the
Trust
clearance.
me, you get anywhere close to him, you're going to hear him. He's loud.
Most people refer to a blocked punt as a clearance.
As a
As
clearance.
a pop pop. As a chill. And here it is, AO, and I don't care what he says.
He didn't, but he didn't say it. Yeah.
Well, what he's going to say, or what they were trying to say. He was trying to make a play on that ball. He was trying to go make a play on that ball. He wanted the love that Wanye got a couple weeks ago on that kickoff.
Yeah.
That we took back to the house, and it took a big bounce.
Which was a bad play too.
It took a big bounce and took a weird short bounce that jumped up on him real quick. And because he's a DB, doesn't have real good eye-hand coordination. That's why he plays DB. The ball hit him in the shoulder pads, and they turned the ball over.
Oblong ball. It bounces like that.
That's what Jerry say.
Oblong ball. But
Which is true.
It is
for a franchise
oblong.
that knows Leon Lett burned them in the heart way back in the 90s.
You think AO knows that?
These kids don't know who
You think
Leon
AO
Lett
knows
is.
that?
No, but I think that the Cowboys franchise should have a picture of Leon Lett in the special teams meeting room.
I mean,
This rule, we
that's
should know.
foul.
We should have his
That's
picture
foul to
of Leon.
Leon.
This play, if the ball is blocked or the field goal or punt, it goes past the line of scrimmage, stay away from the ball.
After Jesse made me watch it 8 times, he knows the rules.
Right.
He knew.
So stay away from the ball.
He thought he could scoop it clean.
Yeah.
That's all it was. Is he thought this ball is bouncing directly at me.
Yeah.
I'm going to catch it. And then it short hopped him. And it went, and he
Attention
went,
to detail. Understanding your teacher. Knowing the rules.
But that goes back to what Jesse was saying about, like, I mean, that's what happens with bad teams is you let details end you. You know, I mean, and we talked about it too before the show. Like, yes, great play by Nick Vigil, and this is very nitpicky, but it's just crazy how the details of football gets this. You've pointed it out. How do you block a punt, Jesse?
Yeah, you like a diver's. We call them diver hands.
Yeah, but why do you keep it like still like this too and off the foot? So
well, you want to look at it. You want to get the ball off the punter's foot because you don't want to give space for the ball to be tipped and continue on like the ball did.
Yeah.
If Nick goes in there with the diver's hands and that's what the diver hands look like. You could say I'm doing the rock like Jay-Z, but we call it the diver hands.
Easy
and
with
so
the Jay-Z stuff, bro.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right now. But you go out and you try to take the ball right off the punter's foot because when you do, the ball goes that way. And that's when you scoop and you score for a touchdown, right? And if I'm not mistaken, even if you don't get it and they get back on it, it's still your
because it's on the other
side.
side.
It's still
Yeah,
your
as long
ball.
as it doesn't cross the line.
Right. So it's still your ball.
Yeah.
So like those are the little details on even blocking the punt. Instead, Nick went down. He went to swiping down on it. It caught his hand, which kept the ball going, and also was to help propel that weird spin on the second bounce that hit Aurier in the shoulder.
I have a
I was gonna
problem
say
with blaming Nick.
really quick. No, we're not
No,
blaming.
no,
We're not
this-
blaming
this-
Nick. No,
this
it's just the
details.
details.
I agree.
Nick made
I
a great
agree.
play. But it's the crazy details, and this is just to the point of like crazy bounces can determine NFL games. Any golfer knows how do you get spin on a ball? You get speed, and you got to cut it a certain
No
way.
idea. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, I can't make it.
So that's why he comes down with speed. It hits him in the side of the hand, not blunt, and that's why he goes back. It's this crazy spin, comes up on Amani Aurier before he has a chance to even realize what he's doing. Or maybe he had a chance to realize what he's doing, but it happened fast.
Stay away from the ball.
Yeah. You win that game if you just stay with it. Most likely. You might have needed to gain 5 or 6 yards. You might have missed a 55 to 60 yarder, but you probably win that game if you just stay with it. And by the way, to the point about bad teams and situational awareness, I know Cowboys quarterback is Cooper Rush, and you're probably not going to go score. Jamar Chase was wrong to score a touchdown, too.
Yeah.
100%.
He gave you a full minute with the ball, and that was a mistake. But what are you going to do? Cowboys lose. We pulled it off. Ha!
Let's get one super chat before we go to this break. David J. Dak tried to put his ankle back together on the field when he broke it in 2020. Don't talk about Dak's heart or how fragile he is.
Take
That's
that.
right. Take that.
Take that, Sergeant Lightning.
Take that.
Sergeant Lightning.
Coming up next on the DLLS Cowboys Podcast, the terrible news about DeMarvion Overshown. We will have the very latest on that, what Jerry Jones has to say about it, draft implications, all the things Overshown next.
And get ready for the season ahead with a quality pair of shades that is built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. And if you use our promo code DLLS, go to ShadyRays.com. You'll get 35% off a pair of polarized glasses. Shady Rays is an independent sunglass company offering a world-class product rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Their shades are durable. The shades have durable frames and crystal clear optics, making them the perfect choice for all outdoor activities. If you're looking for a gift for a friend, a loved one, a spouse, a coworker, whatever it is, this is the gift for you. Because if you get them and you say, hey, got you a gift, and they go, not really my style. Shady Ray says, no problem. Send those bad boys back, pick a new pair for free. Or if they break them right away, they will replace them. So head over to ShadyRays.com, pick up a new pair, use our promo code, and get 35% off a pair of polarized glasses.
Shout out to our friends at Sleeper as well. Unfortunately, I thought for sure that Micah was going to have like 9 sacks last night, so I did go more than on the half sack. He got less than. That's unfortunate, but that happens sometimes. But as a great ball knower like I am, that's cool. I'll catch it on the next go-round with Sleeper. That's what you do. You take what you believe is going to happen in a game. It doesn't have to be football. This happens to be a football show, but you can do this for NBA. You can do this for college sports. You can do this for whatever. Hockey, I like to pick saves sometimes. I like to pick a random guy and saves. And you just say, are they going to have more or less than their projected stats for that game? And the more picks that you combine, the more you can win, all the way up to 100 times yo money. That's all you got to do. It starts with downloading the Sleeper app, and then you can get to doing what I do, which is spending a lot of time on the Sleeper app, making all the picks. Download the app, use the code DLLS Boys, and you will get a first deposit match of up to $100. How about that? See Sleeper's terms of use for details. DeMarvion Overshown's leg went the wrong way. That sucks to see. And when you're rewatching and you hit pause a bunch because you want to see, because you're a psycho, it's not good. What? The body goes certain directions, joints go certain ways. Ain't supposed to go that away. And didn't know the severity until after the game. I started seeing things from one Clarence Hill on Twitter. By the way, hello to Aisha. Aisha.
Okay, guys.
And Clarence, you kind of said Cowboys think this is going to be bad, probably, and it sounds like this is going to be bad, probably.
Yeah, and we still don't. We're still waiting, at least as of this morning, waiting the results of the MRI. But immediately after the game, they were fearing the worst, fearing that, obviously towards ACL his left leg last year, missed his entire rookie season. This one is more than ACL. They think it's multiple ligaments, and that's what they fear. And you add in multiple ligaments, with obviously Jerry Jones acknowledged this morning he's going to have surgery, major surgery, to repair that knee. And you add the multiple ligaments with the time of the year. He may not be back to 2026.
Yeah, that's what I would imagine.
2026.
That's what I would imagine.
And for all the hope, no one thought this was going to be a playoff season, but you were looking for things bright spots to take it to the next season. There was no bigger bright spot than DeMarvion Overshown. And, especially after him missing his entire rookie season, to come out and be the player, the impact player he was, the possibilities of what he and Micah could be as a tandem this year and going forward, it allowed you to dream about the possibilities. And, his athleticism, his speed. So the news of him being hurt was just devastating to everybody in the locker room last night. And you Eric Kendricks to Micah Parsons said it made him reduce into tears. Kendricks was emotional. They were talking about how it just wasn't fair. And it's not just because he was a great player. It's because of the person he was and the joy he had for the game and what he brought to the locker room and all of that stuff. They truly loved him. They call him Cowboy. Mm-hmm. You know, he just enjoyed playing football. He enjoyed being there. And then you watch the way he plays with such excitement, you know. And so it was just a huge setback last night.
Yeah, I'm disgusted.
We sit on in this panel and many other shows that we do, and we have these joking conversations. Well, some of us have it joking. Some of us really mean it.
But about losing games?
About losing
I
games.
absolutely want them to lose games, yes.
And when I sit here and I tell you that, that's okay for you to think about that. And that's fine.
I'm not out there. They obviously can't think that way.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, you have people in the locker room who you don't know when your last play is
right.
And for DeMarvion Overshown, I think we all will agree that we are and have the same sentiments, is that we want to see him have a full recovery.
Right.
But you don't know.
No.
And when you start talking about ligaments and stuff like that, you need that stuff to rejuvenate. You need that stuff to kind of start firing again. And if it doesn't, bye-bye to your football career. And so that's a real serious thing that he has to think about. Now, I'm no medical doctor, but when you start talking about this being more than just a simple ACL tear, when you start getting to the real crux of this thing, these are the type of career-ending injuries that a player can have. And so when you say, oh, just lose the game or tank or do this kind of stuff like that, and I think one of the reasons why you saw guys like Micah and Kendricks, when you've been around the game for a while, sometimes the business, the fans of football can zap the joy out of you.
Right.
It really can. The joy of football can be zapped out of you by the losing, all the stuff that's surrounding. It can just zap the joy out of you.
By Captain Thunder.
By Captain Thunder. I mean, he's a joy zapper. He's a guy who steals energy. And when you insert a guy like DeMarvion, who is a light,
right?
And that's when you see guys react that way, it ain't got nothing to do with football. Yeah, you want to have him out there on your football team, but when that kid brings a joy to the game, that a guy like Kendricks, who's been around for 10 years, goes, man, I remember that joy. Like he reminds me of who I was 10 years ago. Same thing for Mike. I know he's still kind of on the younger side of things, but that's who I was.
Right. I agree.
Like that energy, that passion, that enthusiasm, that type of stuff, you look for that, especially when you're in these moments of kind of despair, when your season isn't going the way that you expected it to go. And so for him to be lost in a manner in which he was lost, it's I mean, I try to say it all the time, but you just never know when that last play is going to be for you.
No, and that's why I was talking about even last week when everybody's talking about Zach Martin. You know, Zach Martin wants to play on the field because you don't know what these moments are special for you. And that's why I don't like to talk about tanking. And when you talk about the business of the game, because, tanking is, from a franchise standpoint, it's the right thing to do. But for these players, this is their livelihood. This is their contract. They're playing for their futures. They're not going to not try to play. You know, whether it's a DeMarvion Overshown, or the AO or whatever else, this is all they got. This is all they know. They've been playing this game, since they were kids. And you love DeMarvion because he just plays it like a kid. I mean, he has the exuberance, the joy that he plays it with, and it's just so devastating. So devastating, when you see something like that happen to him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm disgusted, guys. I mean, I was struggling last night. I was struggling today. Obviously, like you guys know, I am a veteran, and I experienced similar things to what he is going through. It sounds like ligaments. That stuff turns into nerves and stuff sometimes, and like that changed my life drastically. And that's honestly how I kind of relate to some of the players in the locker room, is the rehab process, what that's like, how you have to go through that. And I remember with DeMarvion Overshown, during his recovery, I got to catch up with him several times during the draft season because I'm there for the draft show. You just see him out there working. You just see him out there busting his tail. And coming into this season, obviously a lot of people were like, he's coming off ACL. This is a linebacker. One of the things that he thrives off of is his speed, change of direction. And so you were worried, is that going to factor in, is that going to change? And
Jalen Smith.
the work that he showed, like the work that he put in is why. When you see him on the field, you've seen him on the field this year, it's hard to remember. Like, you got to remind yourself, this guy's coming off ACL playing like this. And something about him, his spirit, how he carries himself is special. It just is, like you guys are talking about. And so I had high hopes for him this season. I thought he was going to come play kind of how he is playing. And so to y'all's point about being sad about what's going on, like, I'm gutted for the person, because this is, to your point, Clarence, this is, and to your point, Jesse, this is a life-changing injury. And what I mean by that is, like, if he does recover, come back and play, stuff like this lingers with you through your life, you know. So it's the repercussions, and it again is just a reminder of how serious this game is and the effect that it can have on guys. I get guys being hurt. I've been sick all morning, so yeah, this is a tough conversation to be having at this point in the season.
Football is a 100% hurt business. Like, legitimately, you're not
Never
playing
healthy.
this game and not be hurt.
Right.
It's always about the extent of it. And one of the things that I always say, that sometimes this game takes from you more than you're willing to give, and that's a fact.
Yeah.
And yes, you know, people say, well, why do what you know, like Clarence was just saying, there's something that all these guys know, but this game is very, very, very unforgiving, and it is a hurt business. It's just about how much.
And I think the culmination of kind of all of these things is what gives him a chance. Like, I think that this would be, for a guy who just tore an ACL and now maybe blew out everything in a different opposite knee, right?
Yeah. Opposite
knee. I think in a lot of cases that could be a good luck. Like, you're not coming back from this. But I do think there are different sorts of people.
Yeah.
And this might sound like taking shots, and I guess I don't actually care. But it's like that everywhere in the world, right? There's things that you're good at, and some people love what they do and are super passionate about it, and some people are like, hell yeah, this will make me enough money for me to live my life. That's great. And he sure seems like a guy that has the work ethic, the love for it, the passion for it, having come back so well from a first injury. I've seen him on Twitter.
He
literally
was on Twitter like, watch me.
After the game, wouldn't want this for anyone else. One of God's toughest soldiers. Keep me in your prayers. And then this morning, somebody didn't even tag him, which means he's searching his name. DeMarvion, stop doing that. I woke up, and the first thing I thought was hoping DeMarvion Overshown doesn't become one of the greatest what-if stories of all time. And he replied, guarantee I won't. So, like, there are absolutely dudes that get hurt and they don't come back as well from an injury, and a lot of times it's because they're not really about that life. They're good at the sport.
Yeah,
he attacked you last time.
But they're but you don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know. And
I didn't guarantee it. That's what gives him a chance.
No, I give it to you. You don't know. And his speed, change direction, that's all part of his game. Listen, Jalen Smith worked hard, okay?
Jalen Smith's nerves were shot when he came to the league.
But because of the injury. I'm just saying he worked hard. Okay, it never came back, and you don't know. And I know people don't like to talk about the money. He's never getting paid.
I mean, unless he comes back and plays really good football in 2026.
Yeah, but then you say, well, you had 2 injuries. You know, there's a ceiling on how much I'm going to pay you. I mean, he's never going to get the big money contract.
Well, look, I don't know.
And I know people
don't know. The Cowboys game, Terrence Steele, the Cowboys game.
Jalen Smith couldn't lift a foot, and he got $11 million a year.
Maybe they learned the lesson. I'm just saying, though.
Terrence Steele, Smith. What was the receiver? Michael Gallup.
I agree.
There are 5 or 6 guys.
Miles Collins.
I'm just saying that.
Sorry, they gave Barry Church a deal off of tearing an Achilles. They pay injured players.
This is 2 knee injuries. I'm just saying. I mean,
they pay injured players.
For a guy, yes, you play for the love of the game. You also play for, to set your family up for lifetime money. I mean, that, all of this stuff. And he was tracking, if he continues, Pro Bowl player, All-Pro player, that type of career he was going to have, he could have had a real payday. I don't know if he's ever going to get that.
All right, we probably got more Overshown stuff. So we're probably not done with DeMarvion Overshown on today's show, but we do need to keep it moving. And so coming up next on the DLLS Cowboys Podcast, it is a Tote That Thang Tuesday.
Tote That Thang!
You're going to find something from yesterday's game that you want to tote forward as they get ready to take on – who are they playing next?
Panthers.
Oh,
Carolina.
hell yeah. Panthers are playing better football lately. What do we need to tote forward into that game? We'll do that next on the DLLS Cowboys Podcast.
Christmas is right around the corner. And if you still are looking for what can I give my favorite outdoor person? What can I give my person who loves the cookouts, who loves the pool party, who loves going camping or to the beach? Well, if you're going to have beer, you don't want warm beer.
No.
You want beer to be cool and cold. But what you need to do is you need to head over to ruggedroadoutdoors.com and use our promo code DLLS and get 10% off a Rugged Road cooler.
That's a good cooler.
Rugged Road is floatable.
It floats.
It will float. So if you got a
float.
pool or you're at the lake or you're at the ocean, that thing will float. It is not a safety flotation device.
It's not a PFD.
It is not.
But I do sit in the hot tub with it.
But it's lightweight design. It is durable, dependable. It is versatile, perfect for a variety of outdoor activities from fishing to tubing to camping to tailgating. These colors are designed to meet the needs of every outdoor sports enthusiast. Head over to ruggedroadoutdoors.com. Use the promo code, get 10% off. Get somebody a nice, dope cooler.
Yeah. I love hot tubbing with my cooler because it just stays right next to me.
You put the whole cooler in
Yeah. That way I don't have to get out. Yeah. Shout out to our friends at Game Time as well, where if you use the promo code DLLS, you get $20 off of your first purchase. So you download the Game Time app because you want to go to a game. You could have gone to the game last night. You go to a Mavericks game. You can go to a Stars game. You can go to whatever you want. You go to what? You done?
Costume was
Okay. You go. I was just saying, that's probably Clarence.
Yeah.
Concerts, comedy shows, whatever. If you buy tickets to it, our guys at Game Time can take care of you, and it's a wonderful app. You get $20 off your first purchase when you download the app and use the promo code DLLS. They've got their super deals. They've got their Game Time picks, lowest price guarantee. You can get the seat views right there before you buy them. Use the promo code DLLS. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. $20 off. Code DLLS. What time is it? Game Time. Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Woo, woo,
Clock.
woo.
Yeah.
Gotta go quick. Snap it?
No, I was snapping.
Snap at me?
There was a snap.
Oh, he upset
need a ball.
him.
Rugged Road in the. I know we're not supposed to talk about ads.
So-
We were trying to get ingrained with that, but in
here
the
you
hot
go.
tub.
You go talking about the app.
Yeah, but
I forgot
Rugged Road in the hot tub.
Yeah.
How big is your hot tub?
I got a big hot tub.
I was gonna say Rugged Road is big.
Yeah, I got a big hot tub.
Okay.
Yeah. I go big.
Go home.
I go big.
Yeah.
How many fireballs are in that?
Usually I get the what? Are you trying to get us to move along?
Yeah. We were heading down the road that was
Oh.
No,
probably gonna get us in trouble.
That's my bad. Hand
No,
up accountability.
It's all good.
Oh yeah. Normally I like.
Now he can't talk right now. He can't.
Cool.
I'm doing what they did to AO last night.
Oh man.
Oh, take care of Joe,
No.
protecting Joe.
The irony was that I was on the other side of that.
No.
No breaking news sounder for the Nooch. The Nooch signed with the Saints,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Good.
Where our hats at, bro?
Good for him.
Got text him. He's sending the Nooch.
He was the
put-
source.
He put hats in the mail yesterday for us.
Oh. Thank you.
Yeah, you'll have some hats.
Oh, shout
Appreciate
out.
But you should go to alldlls.com and get our merch. Don't worry about the free crap that gets sent to my house.
What?
Okay? You get a free t-shirt if you sign up to be a diehard. alldlls.com.
Boom.
It's a Tote That Thang Tuesday, so the Cowboys just played. They're getting ready to play the Panthers. You have to choose something from this week's game that you'd like to see them carry forward.
Direct snap it to yourself.
You want me to just snap it to me?
Direct snap it to yourself like turkey.
Or what if we did like a Philly special? You
I'd
hand
like
out something.
somebody to tote a hacksaw up here,
No.
and I'm going to chop my right leg off. What? And I'm going to give it to DeMarvion Overshown. He's going to have to build.
leg.
He's going to he's going to have to build up some more muscle to
about to
match
say,
his other one.
like-
Mine's a little thinner, but I've been doing. I would cut my right leg off.
Are
for
we
Overshown.
sure that's?
I don't know. That's a smart
I
thing
don't
to do.
think he
I
needs
don't-
your
Are we sure that's an
knees.
improvement?
I don't think
Either
he
one of your
needs
knees don't have no
knees. I don't
cartilage
know
in
if
it.
that's an upgrade.
It has an ACL in it.
But it has no
Does it?
cartilage. So
I don't have any cartilage, but I do have the ligaments.
Then why don't you just take the ligament out?
Oh yeah, I guess I could do that.
Why don't you
That's what
find-
ACL surgery is.
I guess I don't have to.
We should find a better leg.
Yeah, we might want to choose a better
No,
leg.
listen.
I think Katia might have a better leg.
I'm
than
not gonna
to
take
give to
part.
DeMarvion if she wanted to. Not
Are you
saying-
willing?
I'm not offering. I'm
Are you-
not
are you
offering your
willing?
leg.
I would love to see what the gait looks like of DeMarvion Overshown running with his one DeMarvion Overshown leg. And Katya, how tall are you? And his 5'7" leg.
Look like Jalen Smith.
Yeah, it looked like me.
No, y'all don't laugh.
All right, Jeff Kavanaugh.
Tote that thing.
I'm gonna take the easy one. Rico went hard again. That's another 100-yard
Joe's been on
game.
it.
He's and I gave him the opportunity to predict it last night in the pregame. I said, "Would you like to put in the call again? Because I think it's possible." And he said, "I would." So Rico Dowdle, back-to-back 100-yard games, 330 yards in his last 3 games on a team without a quarterback that teams know they want to run the ball. He's bringing his yards per carry up every game, and he's up to 4.8 yards a carry. Rico Dowdle is balling a little bit. So not only would I like to tote Rico Dowdle forward and the fact that he is the one getting the ball, now I love that everybody, anytime Zeke gets 1 touch, everybody tweets me like, what the is he doing in the game? And I'm like, well, Rico gets to breathe. He is allowed to breathe.
He has to breathe.
But yeah, I would like to tote a contract offer to Rico's locker.
Okay.
Like today.
Okay.
That says
But hold
like
on.
3 years, $12 million, $4 million a year.
Come on,
Here's your
Bridge.
little contract. Because it'll be interesting.
Fully guaranteed?
No, you know how NFL contracts
I was
work. It's
just
3
asking.
years,
I
$12
know.
million, $6 million guaranteed.
I got
You're
you.
guaranteed a year and a half of this thing. Because yeah, I think what he's doing, he's playing his best football, shockingly, while he's getting the ball a bunch and getting to feel a rhythm, and he's actually getting rushing yards, nerd stat incoming. He had been under expected for, this is what the nerds do. They take any given time. When you get the ball, here's where all the players are. Here's what's going to happen. We predict what's going to happen based on millions of NFL plays. And throughout the course of the season, he was a little bit under what you would expect him to get. Last 3 weeks, over. He is playing really good football. And I think, on a team that's got a lot of needs upcoming, I would love to have half of one taken. And I still want to add a real running back. But you get Rico and a 3rd-round pick, and I'm good at running back for 3 years. I don't have to worry about it. Shout out to Rico Dowdle. Tote being badass and tote a contract to his locker. How about that?
Yeah.
I like it.
That was good.
How about that?
I thought that was good. I wanted to add that Hunter Lipke, I think he's kind of getting a feel for running behind Hunter Lipke, too. They had some big plays in the running game where Hunter was just lead blocking for him. I think that Hunter Lipke this year has kind of been a little hush-hush, but he's doing a lot of the dirty work. I wanted to add him into
He
that,
can keep
too.
hanging out.
Yeah.
He can hang out with Rico and Travion Henderson.
But what if
or-
they get Cam Scatterbo?
Barnacles.
I had never heard that man's name until I watched the Arizona State
So
game, and then I
glorious.
was just making jokes because it was the white running back that runs real hard. And I kept watching. I was like, "Oh crap! I think he is an NFL player."
He's this year now. I think he's better, but he's this year's Carson Steele.
Because
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Why would you pick that as his comp?
Huh?
Why did you pick Carson Steele in particular?
A little crazy. Got an alligator and stuff. Living his
Okay.
best life. Run hard. Run like he bite people
This is
too
good.
with Pacheco. Yeah, he got that spirit
white.
too.
Yeah,
Okay, I
but
thought maybe it was
Yeah, he
they both
run like
white.
he bite. He had a baby alligator.
They both white.
A little
they're
crazy.
white people,
They're white.
Listen,
but they run hard.
running backs,
European
linebackers,
descent.
the white kind,
Maybe Mike
safety,
Allstott.
crazy.
Did you guys
Good.
know we need to draft a white corner?
I like Cooper
They're out there.
Jean.
They're out there.
Cooper Jean and Riley Moss,
he
the
can
last
play.
two
They're out there.
are ballers.
Yeah.
We're back, baby.
We're back.
We're back. It'd been a while.
Y'all keep flirting with that percentage
Well,
if you
y'all-
want to.
wait,
That's
wait.
been- we're
That's
2
been
for
a
2.
need. That's been a
that.
need for a long time.
2
bro.
for 2.
We're 2 for 2.
I'm sorry.
2 for the last 2.
I'm sorry. Were you guys
Oh,
ever
yeah,
there?
because we don't know who the other 79 that didn't make it work.
What do you
That
We're
is
back.
because of racism. Listen, Jesse, do you know how
We're 2 for 2. Like, those are the only 2 white
I
DBs
swear, I was about to say,
who
like,
wanted to go
when
and play
were
the
you
National
ever
Football
here?
League.
Yeah.
Nah, bro.
Do you know why?
They can play though.
Why?
Because of segregation
Yeah.
and bigotry.
If y'all would have let us into your neighborhoods,
Jeff is
we
being
would have given you
sarcastic.
some of this skill
goes,
that we
right.
have. But you kept us segregated for so long, and you kept us over here that now you had to be pale and white over there
Yeah.
with no athleticism. You
I
should've-
wasn't trying
should have
to.
let us in there.
I was not trying to go this
You
far.
should have let us
I
drink from the
just
water
know-
fountain. You should have went to school with us.
All I know is that once upon a time, and this is wrong and bad and terrible,
You got
got
to
a
stop
Jason
many
this.
Sehorn
people in the
jersey.
NFL thought that the black man shouldn't play quarterback. So if you were a good quarterback and you were a young black man, they would move you to wide receiver
That's racist.
or
Yeah.
running back, and that was racist.
Very.
Super racist.
Very racist.
GM
And
still
then-
think that today.
And we evolved as a league,
Now look at us, baby.
and people didn't let the white man play corner.
Please.
should.
If you were a great high school corner, you take your ass to safety.
Yeah.
No.
You better take your ass to safety. But no, we got us 2. We're coming.
We're 2 for 2.
Very happy for
I'm going to find one in this draft.
We're 2
Shout out
Yeah.
to Hudson Clark from
I
Highland
guess.
Park High School, Arkansas corner.
2 for 2.
very happy for you, Jeff.
Okay.
I guess.
From Highland Park to Arkansas.
Trust me.
Shocking.
Oh,
Oh no!
Fumble!
Come on,
Ayo!
come on,
Ayo!
Aurorier.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
See, Warrior. That's what you do with these, Warrior.
No, you run away.
No. I don't run away.
No, but you tried to make a play,
and I did. But
what'd you do it the next time?
What do you mean?
Would you make the play the next time if that bounced like that?
Yes.
I'm
going to make the play.
I don't know if you would.
Aisha?
Poison.
Yes.
Tote that thing.
Tote that thing.
Well, Jeff low-key kind of took mine, but he didn't really talk about the offensive line. So I wanted to talk about the offensive line. Obviously, saw Cooper Beebe go down with the concussion in that game. Brock Hoffman stepped in at center. TJ Bass came over at the right guard spot. And, man, listen, this offensive line is these guys that have kind of, the second-string guys or whatever. This unit is finding some cohesion. You seeing them do some things. They found a lot of success with inside zone yesterday. And really moving guys off the ball. Now, granted, we talked about it before, the passing and running on first down, stuff like that. But I do think that this offensive line obviously is playing a huge role in Rico's success right now. I like some of the stuff they're doing with their duo blocking as well, trying to get to the second level. Chuma Edoga, we gave him crap. You mentioned before the pregame, Jeff, you thought he was going to be fine, and he was for the most part. Thought he did some good things in the run game as well. So, yeah, just want to talk about the offensive line. We can tote that, and it also, too, is going to help us know more before the draft.
Yeah.
Because you might not have to get an offensive lineman early unless it's
what would be great to know before the draft?
What's
if
that?
the guy that you just picked at the first round can play, but they're deciding not to play him because he's not as good as
They got
Chuma
depth on the
Edoga.
interior.
And so we're just going to go into next year, and they're just going to assume that he's going to be fine, even though right now they're acknowledging that he can't play a lick. And so that's a weird strategy, but it seems like that's what we're going to do.
Yeah. But I liked yours.
You really ruined my tota.
No, your tote
tota.
was great.
Nah, my
Your tote
tota.
was your tote.
Tota?
Your tota.
It's a Tota party?
was great.
It's a tota.
It was wonderful. No, I was just getting out one of the things I wanted to bitch about that game.
Let it
And that's what
out.
happens when your head coach is in the last year of his deal. He's like, look, I'm trying to win every game, so I'm going to play Chuma Edoga, despite the fact that for the future of our franchise, we should probably be giving this first-round pick all the reps in the world
He's
to
upset.
figure out if there's a chance he can play. They're not going to. They're going to go into the offseason having thought he can't play a lick, and then they're going to sell us that he's going to be fine because we don't want to create another need. Plus, he was a first-round pick, and so we're just doing stupid.
You almost let it out.
Have the ball. Joe. Tote that thing!
I'm going to make it quick because
What you got,
I don't have much
Joey?
time. I'm going to tote T. Higgins staying at AT&T Stadium and making that his home next season as wide receiver 2 for the Dallas Cowboys.
Boy, you're gonna ask Jerry to cut a big check to a free agent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, well,
I think Jalen Tolbert has kind of struggled this season.
Jesse.
Yeah.
I am
Okay, he struggled this season.
hell,
so
Jesse?
sad about
Brandon
it.
Cooks, I don't think he'll be back. So I think they need a wide receiver 2 to pair with CD, and why not go get T. Higgins?
Might as well. You keep relying on draft talent. Let's just go get a guy.
Teach Turpin to play wide receiver.
Absolutely not.
All right. Then we're going to go find us one.
Thank you.
Jesse Holly. Tote that thing!
My tote that thing for next week is continue to give the ball to only these 2 wide receivers.
I'm screaming.
CeeDee Lamb and Jake Ferguson. Out of the 16 completion that Cooper Rush had yesterday, 9 of them went to CeeDee Lamb and Jake Ferguson. I don't want to deal with Schoonmaker anymore. I don't want to have Kevontae Turpin running go routes anymore. Mingo, you've had 2 catches in 4 games for 10 yards. And I get it. You're messing around with the backup quarterback, but my boy, I'm good. Jalen Tolbert, I don't know. I don't know. You saw the one play where it was 3rd down and Mike McCarthy is pissed on the sideline. It was an incomplete to Jalen Tolbert.
Yeah.
You want to know why it was an incomplete to Jalen Tolbert?
Because he dropped it.
Not only because he dropped it, but also Jalen Tolbert, wide receiver 101. You know, you're standing there. You see CeeDee Lamb go in motion. What do you see behind him? You see the cornerback follow him. That means it's man-to-man. You have a shallow cross. You don't stop, goes tight end on the shallow cross. You keep on the move across that thing, and that's where the ball was going. But you stopped for whatever reason, and the ball was incomplete. So it's little things like that when you look up and you're going, why am I don't have a job anymore? They're going to go back and they're going to we'll give you 3 years to go out here and actually make a play for us and actually to be our number 2 wide receiver. Brandon Cooks missed about 5 or 6 weeks, whatever the hell that was with his knee infection thing, and it gave you an opportunity to solidify yourself as the number 2, and you didn't. So from here on out, I only want the ball to be thrown to CeeDee Lamb and to Jake Ferguson for the last 3 games of this season. Let those guys get all the reception yards and touchdowns you can possibly get. Season is done, but let those guys go out there and get numbers. That's my tote that thing. Next week, those are the only 2 guys who get reception.
Can I sell you on an alternative to that?
Sure.
What is he about to say?
Because you said the season's over.
It is.
We could make sure those two guys are okay for next year.
They'll be fine.
And both have them say that their hammy hurts.
No, they'll be fine.
You never know
They'll
when
be
it'll
fine.
be your last play.
No, I want CD go get all the numbers he can. I want those numbers to keep being
He's
padded.
diabolical.
Keep padding
Yeah, he
those
turned
stats.
that around, didn't he?
He's
Keep padding those stats.
diabolical.
He turned that around, didn't
Keep
he?
padding those stats.
Oh my God.
Damn,
Coming
bro.
up next, 2 All-Pros, 1 Hall of Famer. These are the people that are campaigning for a certain man to be back. Are you going to lose your mind if it happens? That is next on the DLLS Cowboys Podcast. But thirst is something that leads you to drink. But first, let's talk about our friends that are us. That's who I want to talk about. Please hit the like and subscribe button. I see 58 of you in here, and that's very appreciated. But I demand 100.
So get 100.
And I think we could do it. So if you're here, just make sure that you hit the like button. It's good for the algorithm. It's good for us. It's good for the company. We might not get fired. Jump in the chat. Send your favorite emoji. That's good for the algorithm. Those things we're looking for. But if you want to step up your friendship level with us, alldlls.com. Sign up to be a diehard. It's a cool deal. I love the Discord server that's for diehards only, and we've got a whole bunch of people in there, and it goes nuts. So like during a Mavs game or a Stars game or the Cowboy game yesterday, it goes nuts. And we have a channel for each team to talk about those things, plus all sorts of other things, lifestyle, movies, music, food, whatever. Feet. Well, there's not a category for feet. I just jump in there once in a while. And
We could make one.
And I say feet, ? And everybody ignores me. But it's a cool place to hang out. And if you sign up to be a diehard, you get access to all of the premium content on our website. You get an ad-free experience. You get a free T-shirt. You get discounts on events, discounts on merch. You get a carrying card that says you're a diehard. It's all badass, okay? So get up in there, or else that's not a threat. Yeah, so the names are piling up. I saw this before the game yesterday, and in the post game, because we do a pregame show, so we don't get to watch whatever's on TV for a pregame or whatever. But I saw that Micah Parsons was going to have words on the pregame show on ESPN or whatever, and it was about Mike McCarthy, and he was becoming the latest man to be like, yeah, I want Mike McCarthy back, and I think he deserves a shot. You know, the health stuff got us and all that. And I'm just adding them up in my head. I'm like, okay, it was Dak first, Aikman. And Aikman didn't just say that he thought he should be the coach. He said, I expect him to be the coach in 2025. And then you had Micah Parsons going to bat for his guy. And I just kept thinking about Clarence. And the die is cast. The die is cast. The die is cast. You ready to fight Troy Aikman?
Yeah, because
yeah. So I'm gonna race Dak, and you're gonna fight Troy Aikman.
Troy might whoop you, though.
Troy would whoop you.
Might?
he might would he outrun me or whoop me?
Whoop you.
Oh,
Or run.
He's a big guy.
he's a big guy.
You just take defeat just like that. That's crazy.
No, I'm not taking nothing. I just ignored it. I don't legitimize stupid craziness. I don't legitimize craziness.
You think you can take Troy?
I'm not legitimizing the conversation.
just
Is what I'm doing.
defeat just like
Chad,
that.
who would
I'm
win?
not legitimizing the conversation, Jesse.
crazy,
I don't need to legitimize. I don't need to prove
You ain't roll
nothing.
your eyes.
I
like,
don't
give
need
me
to
a
prove
side eye,
nothing to
pause or
nobody. I'm a
nothing.
man.
That's wild. You're 40.
AT&T Lot
I'm
F.
40.
40? Okay.
They say I'm 40, okay?
Gundy.
They say Atlanta, I'm 40. I'm a man, I'm 40. I need to prove nothing. But what are they supposed to say? I mean, yes, Dak, and everybody's going to say the right things.
The Troy one is the one that threw me the most because it
Troy-
sounded like a prediction, not just saying I think he's a good coach.
I understand. Troy's been on the Mike McCarthy bandwagon before he got hired. I mean, he's never said a bad word about Mike McCarthy. Loved the hire, and that's great. Troy loved Jason as well, just like Dak loved Jason as well. I just keep coming back to you don't give him a contract extension at 12-5. How do you do it after this season? And we know how Jerry set him up, and we know about the injuries, but there have been other things, coaching things, that also have undone this team. And I just don't know how you sell it to the fan base. The only saving grace anybody has is who you going to get.
Right. And that, I think, is going to be a challenge for the Cowboys.
Yeah, who you going to get? You know, and I was reminded this morning that 30 days before Jerry hired Mike McCarthy, he said glowing things about Jason Garrett being the right guy for the job, even though he had a bad season in 2019.
And they had a U-Haul parked at the Star loading his crap up.
And so he's going to say all the right things about Mike McCarthy, like on the radio this morning, talked about how this team is still fighting for him and how he's been so successful to Dak, and the fact that Dak has supported him. You know, having someone connected with Dak to get the best out of Dak is important toward the decision making going forward. But of course, that was the case with Jason Garrett. Of course, it's also why they kept Kellen Moore, I suppose, the connection with Dak and all the other stuff. They eventually moved away from Kellen Moore, and he was better than Mike McCarthy. So the idea that he couldn't be better than another coach is just unrealistic. But they're going to say that now. The other thing is, y'all know that Bill Belichick is going to Carolina?
Well,
allegedly. Maybe and allegedly.
Well, it just came out that he gave them a 400-page organizational Bible with structure, payment plan, staffing choices.
The same one that destroyed New England?
That
USC
has to commit to. What do you think if Bill Belichick gave Jerry a 400-page organizational Bible?
I would like to be Jerry in that scenario because I would give him back a 3-page print off of his last 8 drafts. And I'd be like, you don't get to call shots here. You're here to coach.
Like, yeah. But
my university is so desperate right now. We're about to make one of the dumbest decisions ever.
He's the greatest coach of all time.
This is going to be so bad.
But what he's petitioning is not new in college football anymore. Treat it like an NFL program. Everyone's
right.
They're already doing that.
They're already doing copying Georgia and Bama and Ohio State and Michigan, and like, I'm going to be a pipeline to the NFL and teach you how to be. And I'm like, yeah, that's what 10 schools who are better than you are already doing.
And it's about talent evaluation. And at the end of the day, to your point,
at the end of the day,
days going. But again, getting back to Mike McCarthy. Who you gonna get? His only saving grace is there's no obvious answers, no obvious options. And Jerry, as he said, well, I played with Jimmy Johnson, I played with Barry Switzer, so I already knew those guys. Who does he know that anybody that he can be comfortable with?
Well, and that's the point. And I think that's what made Troy Aikman's comments so interesting. The specific one being, I don't think Jerry wants to do that, is what he said. And he's talking about a coaching search. And at his age, he doesn't want to start over. You can make the argument, okay, bring in Bill Belichick, a guy that has some pelts on the wall, but he also doesn't have a relationship with Dak Prescott, who also has a relationship with Mike McCarthy, and they've already guaranteed 3 years more to Dak Prescott. So why not try to go all in on 3 years with the same guy? Long story short, I don't think Jerry does want to make a new change. I don't think he wants to go get a Ben Johnson and say, hey, you come in here and change things up. Because guess what?
So he don't want to win a Super Bowl, what you're saying?
Potentially. I think he's content.
Oh, you know that, though.
He don't want to win a Super Bowl?
Jerry don't want Ben Johnson.
He don't want to win a Super Bowl?
He don't want to win a Super Bowl by hiring some young guy that he doesn't have a Super Bowl ring already.
And won't get credit for. Because if you go get a Ben Johnson or one of the, not just use Ben Johnson name for example, if you go do that and Ben Johnson takes this team to heights that it never has gone to, well, I shouldn't say never, hasn't been to in 30 years, then all of a sudden now, again, just like Jimmy Johnson, you don't get the credit.
At this point, he gets the credit.
No, he doesn't.
After all these years.
They're going to say what? They're going to say, Jerry, your stubbornness kept this away from us for 30 years. And the credit's all going to go to Ben Johnson or whoever that young hotshot guy that came in here.
You know who just won his second straight state championship?
Jason Witten.
Jason Witten.
From Argyle Liberty Christian to the Dallas Cowboys.
I mean, but Mike Vrabel is a name that I think works for Jerry. I can't.
Doesn't have a lot of playoff success either.
Right, but I can't buy that Jerry would be down to make the head coach
dark horse
a hotshot coordinator type. I just don't think he would.
Are you going to bring it up?
The dark horse.
You going to bring it up?
No, we're not going to do that.
Oh, John Gruden?
Dark horse. The dark horse.
I can see John Gruden.
The dark horse.
I could totally see that with Jerry.
If it is going to be someone not Mike, if it's going to be someone that's not Mike McCarthy, it's going to be someone with pelts on the wall.
Super Bowl ring.
With Tony Dungy's team.
Okay. That's fine.
Led by defense, not by his offense.
That's fine. But works with quarterbacks. Runs kind of the same West Coast system, so the verbiage won't change as much.
Jerry and he could trade emails.
What kind of emails? What kind of emails are they?
Whatever they send. I don't know. I have no idea.
What kind of emails are you insinuating?
It's going to be those WhatsApp messages that dissolve after you.
Jerry can't email.
They think dissolve.
I don't think Jerry knows how to email.
You email probably can't text.
I think Jerry writes letters and then gives it to somebody and says, run that down to coach.
Handwritten ones too.
Run that on down to coach. Or on a typewriter. Yeah, I think that could help, Mike. That I don't know. And because the other side of it isn't just would Jerry. I think there's a lot of coaches who want nothing to do with being here.
No, I don't think so either.
If they have options, like let's just do this off season. Like I'll do just for the hell of it. If Ben Johnson's the biggest name, I think he probably looks at somewhere where he can grow something new. Caleb Williams is the number 1 overall pick that's playing better the last month. Like that sounds fun to me. Anybody he asks about being the head coach of the Cowboys is going to be like, bro.
I disagree. I mean, and maybe it's an old guy thing or whatever else.
It's an old guy thing.
And it better be an old guy thing.
That's an old guy thing.
It better be an
Like
old
Bill
guy thing.
Parcells said, you always want to play in the big room, okay? The Cowboys, regardless of Jerry, there's still the big room. It's still one of the best jobs, and it's still you.
So why Bill Belichick going to Carolina? We ain't the big room. Leave us alone.
You know, you still want to play that.
Bill
Mike
Belichick's been trying to get a
McCarthy.
job for 2 years.
It's just like Archie Manning the other day. Okay, he's at a sports bar. Someone says, "Hey, where do you want Arch to go? I want him to go to the Cowboys."
Yeah, no,
I mean,
that's
like what I said.
yeah.
I understand that, but it's that's why I said maybe it's an old guy. But there's still an aura about me. I know you think these guys, Jerry's so dysfunctional, and they would never. Yes, they would come here.
Not everyone, though. Not every coach.
Ain't nobody turning down the Cowboys.
No, I think you think Ben Johnson on that criteria that the Cowboys fit.
If they paid him what he wanted, he'd come to the Cowboys.
There's a market for him. I think other people are going to pay him what he wants.
You rather go to Chicago than Dallas? Come on, man.
I think he might look at the
it.
Chicago as a better opportunity for him.
He might.
Or he might. It's not.
He's not. He is not
You
70
think-
years old.
But he's young and he could set a legacy. Winning a title in Dallas will mean more than winning a title in Chicago.
He would be a liar if he came to Dallas. It would make the Albert Breer thing.
They all are liars.
He would walk in
Football coaches, they lie. They lie to kids. Jesse, college coaches, they freaking lie. What do you mean you be a liar? They all lie.
Jason
How
Garrett's
you
a
know they
liar.
lying? Their lips are moving.
Jason Garrett told he said he wish he had 53 of me.
But he did cut.
How you know they lying? Their lips are
He
moving.
cut the one that he had.
Football coaches, owners, GMs, they lie to
He was
you.
52 away. and
Only
he
most
cut
of
the
them.
one.
Coach Rod Washington, when I was at
Freaking
Allen, was a
lie.
great man. Everybody else was a liar.
Ron Washington, like the Rangers?
No, he lies
Rod.
too.
Oh, okay.
Rest in
Coach
peace,
Washington
Rod.
would never lie to anybody.
Lies.
You don't say that.
Y'all lie.
No.
Oh,
I think he's in like Bentonville,
my
Arkansas or
bad.
something.
My
Yeah.
fault. I put him in the grave.
No, I shot him an email a couple weeks
You shot
ago.
him.
Shot him an email.
Oh, sorry.
Couple of weeks ago. I tracked him down online.
Did he hit you back?
Because I had been doing my gratitude journals, and I had to
Oh.
remember something from back in the day, and I remembered Coach Washington. I shot him an email, let him know I appreciated him, and he was amazing. He emailed me back, and he said, "That's outstanding."
How about Wes? How about Wes Phillips?
If you just name people
Wes ain't
whose
coming back
dads
here.
coached for the hell of it,
West ain't coming.
No,
How about Steve Belichick?
he touched him on the garment. He's with the
what is he doing? I don't even, where is
He's
he?
the offensive coordinator in Minnesota.
Okay.
I mean, you're looking for
Wes ain't
guys.
coming
The problem
back
is
here.
that's the problem. You go down the list, whether it's a Mike Vrabel or who excites you. Who could it be?
Pete Carroll.
I mean,
Well, the ones that excite you are the path he's not going to go down.
McCarthy.
That's why you keep coming back to McCarthy. But again, how can you sell that? It's one thing.
I could sell it for him. Like, I don't think it's
you
hard
can
to sell McCarthy.
to the fan base.
Yes.
To this
Yes.
losing fan base.
Yes.
To this fan base that are mad about the play
Yes.
calling and the running
Yes.
and all the lack of
Yes.
imagination.
Yes, I would tell them the play calling thing is overblown. He's fine as a play caller. Every time that we lose our starting quarterback, or I don't even do free agency, and we don't have a good football team, we don't have an offensive line, we have one wide receiver, that son of a bitch keeps it together, and we are competitive.
Shout
And
out
that's
to
incredible.
to Gmail21 super chat.
Gimli.
What was it?
Son of a
What is it?
Gimli.
Oh, Gimli.
Gimli!
I
The
thought it was-
dwarf in Lord of the Rings.
Gimli gave us $4.99.
Yo, shout out to Hotmail 36.
Gimli. Yeah. Watching Jesse chill and Aisha's eyes
What I call
glaze
him?
over
What I
whenever
call him?
Joe and Jeff
Gmail.
make goofy
Gmail?
white dude
I
pop
said
culture
Gmail.
references will
I said
always be
Gmail.
funny to me.
Gmail.
Ryan Compton's in
You
the
might
super
say Gmail.
chat. Can't do Mike. Sirianni told Kellen to run the ball after bye week. He did. If McCarthy told Kellen to run the ball, why didn't Kellen run the ball? Currently, the Philadelphia Eagles wide receivers think their quarterback sucks. And even though they're winning all their games, they hate each other. It's awesome. And Ryan also said, head coach Vrabel, DC Saleh, OC Chris Forster. That works for me in a heartbeat. Yeah. Let Robert Saleh run my defense. Let Vrabel be the head coach. Let McCarthy be the head coach and just make him give up play call.
How about Bill Belichick, head coach, and Mike McCarthy's offense coordinator?
No, now we're just
in the show, bro.
Yeah, now we're
In the
just
show, bro. That's in the
This
show.
is a fugazi.
You want to drop? We want young guys.
He want more people that can relate to him in there. That's all.
Please hit the like button. We're at 84. I'd like to see it at 100.
The big room, maybe they want to play in the big room.
The upper room.
That's what we're gonna play in.
Thank you,
Jesus.
Everybody stop by. Remember, you have no idea what McCarthy's going through, or AO, or whoever. So be cool to everybody. Love you. Be
Overshown.
Eliminate the contingencies.
Or else. Not a threat.
We all silly like the mayor.